on the live. I'm sorry. Speaking too quick. Let's see what's going on here in the YouTube world. It appears that our friend Smitty is still live. I got him up and running. I'm going to give him some watch hours. I've had UK Medic up. And I've had our friend Mir, I believe. Ahmed. As well as for today, our friend Dagmar up. Flower is first. Flower is always first. How are you, my friend? Flower says, I call first. You might be the only one. You never know. Makes me wonder if no one showed up. Could I talk for 2 hours by myself? What do you think? I've actually talked, I think I've done like an hour and a half by myself. Maybe people popping in and out, but largely by myself. Oh, I didn't know Barb was live. Sorry, I missed her. Flower says that I'm awesome. Yeah, you're pretty awesome. I agree. Flower says, nah, you're talking with me. I appreciate that. You're up kind of late, aren't you? Let's see. We also have people up. Worldwide Burpee Day started. It's 24 hours of burpees. It started a couple hours ago. I'm here for support. But I'm not participating for a couple reasons, a few reasons that I won't really get into. Let's see, Flower says, unless I fall asleep. That could happen. You have before. Bumblebee is here. Bumblebee, how are you? And Goldie is here. Awesome. Let's see. Flower says, I mean, you ask how I was, and I'm great. Awesome. Oh, I said awesome to that. Well, I still think you're awesome. Flower says Barb started not long ago. Let's bring Barb up, if I find her, for some watch hours. Always an important thing to do. And she might pop in when she gets a chance. Let's see. Goldie has made cherry tomatoes, mini mozzarella balls, and balsamic vinegar. That looks really good. You know what? Artfully done. I always appreciate food that is artfully done. You just tell how much the person cares about the people they're feeding when it's done to not only obviously taste good, but to have it look good at the same time. Flower says she was watching Barb before she got here. Mini player Duckart says, please take lots of love from India. Thank you, my friend, and sending lots of love from here. I very much appreciate that. You are the second person actually arriving from India yesterday. Had a very nice conversation. Flower will be right back. Bumblebee is just eating dinner. What's on the dinner plate for this evening, Barb? Or for Flower? Bumblebee? I'm sorry. It's a sign that maybe I've been going live too often when I start mixing up names. Let's see. So it's a good way to start off the evening conversation. I got lots of my favorite people here. Anyone have any big plans for the weekend? We ended the conversation talking about our favorite foods, and I realized Eric Lapointe took a guess with my favorite, and he said Ezekiel bread, which is awesome. Ezekiel bread toast. My favorite foods are so basic. It might actually be an apple. It might be oatmeal. I could probably eat oatmeal in various like forms every meal, probably. Runner Boy is here. Runner Boy, how are you? Let's see. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that, Goldie. We're testing the limits of my technology. Nope, I don't think it's going to work. I tried. Burner Boy says, I like orange slices, but hate the feeling of cut oranges. That's a predicament, my friend. So I attempted to cut and paste, and that didn't work. I'm not sure how else to do it. Let me try one more time. Nope. I don't think I can do it, Goldie. Bumblebee says, I bought some pesto pasta and some lemon and herb chicken breast pieces, and I've got a protein lemon cheesecake. Wow, yogurt thing. I'm intolerant to cow's milk, so desserts are limited. Interesting. Goldie says, except me. What do you mean? Runner Boy says, posted my live stream today, by the way, and hello to all. I'll check it out. I'm sorry that I missed it yesterday. Queen, let's see, I want to make sure that I get that right. So I'm looking on the big screen. Kaylin, am I saying that right? So say, probably easier if I just say Queen. As I really dislike mispronouncing someone's name over and over again. So unless I get it right, I know I can pronounce Queen without any trouble most of the time. Queen, welcome, my friend. Appreciate you being here. Elma, what book did you last read? I read a book of fiction by Harlan Cobain in the Myron Voltaire series. It was pretty good. I don't read a lot of fiction. I sort of take fiction as a timeout from the things that I read. I'm also reading, I've been talking about this. Change Your Life, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. It's by Wayne Dyer. It is not a translation of the Tao Te Ching. It's his interpretation of the Tao Te Ching, offered with guidance on how to allow the Tao to be expressed through your life. And I told the story. I've actually had this book since 2007 and never read it. Although I've read the Tao Te Ching every year, probably for 30 years. And I like Wayne Dyer. I've actually met him several times before he passed away in 2015. Why I never read this, I don't know. I bought it obviously because I wanted to read it. But I think every time I started, I felt more called to read the actual Tao Te Ching than someone else's interpretation of it. But about a week ago, I don't know why, I was reading another book. I was reading a text called the Siva Sutras. And I felt the urge to pick up the Tao Te Ching again, which isn't surprising, again, because it's such an important book to me. But this one in particular. And I've learned through the years to allow that type of guidance to be followed. When you get that sudden intuition, some books you buy and it's not the right time. You need to have them for whatever reason. You need to have them then for whatever reason, but it's not the right time to read it. I think you need them so that you can stumble across them when it's the right time. And now it was. And the book is totally flooring me, blowing away. I absolutely love it. Odd. I've had it for almost 20 years, and now is the right time. Goldie says, don't worry about it. Share screen. Hey, that I can do. I can, good suggestion, Goldie. Okay. First, let's start with a preface. These are cherry tomatoes, mini mozzarella balls, and balsamic vinegar. And it has been prepared and lovingly and beautifully presented by our friend Goldie. So, did they show up? Beautifully done, as I mentioned. And as I also mentioned, that I absolutely love food that is presented with love. In the yogic Vedic culture, prasad, I think I'm pronouncing that right, which is food that is purposely prepared with a loving vibration, chanted over with mantra. Of course, you could use anything. You could say, prayer of Jesus as you're preparing your food, or you could, whatever it is that inspires you. And the food itself has that essence. So you're literally sharing food as love with people. Bumblebee says hi to Queen and Oma. Oma says, interesting. I'm only vaguely familiar with Taoism. It's, by right, it's more of a philosophy. It's more of a way of life. At the very beginning of the Tao, I absolutely love it, as it begins with the Tao that can be told. The Tao means the way. The way that can be told is not the true way, meaning all we can offer is descriptions. And I find that synonymous with talking about God. The God that can be told is not really God. It's only our description of God. God resides as the essence of everything in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. When we have our purest, most loving thought, we are thinking in accordance to the Tao. We are thinking in accordance with God. But every time we try to offer a description, words are going to fail us. It's the way they say, you can never get wet by the word water. You can only immerse yourself in water. You can only drink water. So you can never know God by a description of God. You can only know God by being within God, or the Tao, as the case may be. Runner Boy says it's been about a year, 1 year, since the last time I read a book. I'm surprised you don't read training books. Oma says, Gordy, those are good. Yeah, they certainly do. Let's see. Boy, I thought my handle was long. I thought my channel's name was long. I see Guy in the middle. Guy Edit. Guy Edits 2. Can I call you Guy? Can I call you Edit? Can I call you 2? Because I'm going to be unable to pronounce the whole thing. But I see you said you have a question. Always happy to attempt to answer a question. I make no promises that I have. Actually, I do make a promise. I probably don't have an answer, but I can talk about something. That makes sense? Bumblebee says, that looks nice, Cody. It certainly does. Mayhem and Miracles. Masha is here. Hello, my friend. I enjoyed watching you live. I got to come in, send out some prayers, and then I kept you up and running through the whole thing, throughout the whole session. Masha says hi to everyone. Our friend Eric Lapointe is here. Tomorrow is a big day for Eric Lapointe. It's Burpee Day. Does it get any better? You can have your holidays. You can have your birthdays. Does it get any better than Burpee Day? I don't know. I feel sort of like I dropped the ball. I didn't get Eric Lapointe a burpee gift. Should have gotten him wrist wraps. I should have gotten him a burpee mat. Mayhem says, thank you. Actually, you're welcome. But, as mentioned before, the thanks is really all mine. The things that you have thank you, Eric Lapointe. The things that you have brought to my channel, more importantly, you know, the channel is just a reflection of us, who we are, for better or for worse. But I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I've been giving it more and more thought since I first connected with your channel. And just of being, let me read just the very end. This is verse 8. I read it this morning from the Tao Te Ching. That let's see. Sorry, verse 7. It's going to be real quick, just the end of it. And this is from the Timeless Wisdom. 2,500 years, 3,000 years, Tao Te Ching. Serve the needs of others, and all your own needs will be fulfilled. Through selfless action, fulfillment is attained. I'm going to read that real quick one more time. Serve the needs of others, and all your own needs will be fulfilled. Through selfless action, fulfillment is attained. That's the essence of Mayhem Miracles, right there. As timeless as the Tao itself. Because Masha, you know, she has her goals for her channel. She knows what she wants to do, but she knows the best way of achieving that is to help others. And you can't do it, you can't help others with the what's in it for me attitude. You can only help others. If you have that what's in it for me, you're not truly helping others. So it seems paradoxical until you see that it's really the same thing. As Ramana Maharishi said when he was asked, how do we treat others? There are no others. So one thing you find when you dive into Mayhem and Miracles is you only get as far as you're willing to help other people. If you're willing to help other people a great deal, you get a tremendous growth in your channel. If you're willing to help people a little bit, you get a little bit of growth from your channel. If you go in there unwilling to help people, but you want to see how much you can get, you're not going to get anything. It's a perfect reflection. And conversations with Masha really helped clarify that with me. Oma says, I've read Our Thoughts Determine Our Lives by Elder Theadius of Viconia. It's probably similar to that book, though it's written by an Orthodox monk. Hey, have you ever read The Cloud of Unknowing? Written by an unknown monk. It's a perfect non-duality text by a medieval Christian monk. Absolutely amazing. Eric Point says, Masha, I did at least 4 super chats on your channel and they never come up. I hope you get the money. I saw you post that on Masha's live stream, Eric. I didn't see that it came up, but I saw you say that you did a super chat and you didn't see it come up. So I hope it worked out. Masha says, thank you. I got to keep checking my desktop because I don't want to. Every once in a while, the phone itself doesn't freeze, but the comments freeze. So I have 2 things up and running to make sure. So as mentioned, helping channels grow, and that's what no one does it better than Mayhem and Miracles. But not just that. Also just caring for the people who show up. Today was a day of lots of prayers for a few people who truly needed them. So it's a very it's a channel of sincerity. Speaking of prayers, once more, we've been doing this almost every session. I haven't seen her for a bit. Our friend Selina and her sister Dana. Selina is acting as a caregiver for her sister. So both to the caregiver and to the person who needs the care, lots of prayers to both of them. Masha says I have to wait, Eric. It's monthly, or it gets carried over in my no. Oma says I haven't. I'll have to check it out. Thanks. You're welcome. And I will check out the title that you mentioned. Masha said she didn't see it. Maybe a glitch. Other live streams, I've heard several people mention the last 2 or 3 days that YouTube seems to be glitching. Mayhem says, Mom and Big Ben sent me one. And Eric says, Masha, it only happens to your chat. Don't know why. Yeah, definitely something to look into. And what a shame if it's coming out of your account, Eric, and Masha isn't receiving it. So, sorry, my cat is distracting me. You think my cat would be showing me a little gratitude since I sat up with her during a tornado as she refused to go down into the basement with me. Both of my cats refused to go down to the basement. Eric Point says, I'm going to check it out. I agree, Yogi. What a shame. Yeah, it might be YouTube. It might be from on Masha's end, or it might be some kind of disconnect between, I don't know, Eric's channel and Masha's channel. So, yeah, I wanted to mention, with a lot of thanks to a lot of people, everyone here, obviously, Mayhem and Miracles, that I am 397 watch hours away from the magic number. Ever closer. And that's counted up to June 2nd. So that's what, 4 days unaccounted for. That would bring me ever closer to 300. I think I can do it in 2 weeks. We'll see. So I've been putting in a little longer on the live stream. I was floored when my very first visit at Mayhem and Miracles, and just casually, Masha said that she got her watch hours before she got 1,000 subscribers. And because I was struggling for watch hours, I had to know how. Like I said, I was just completely floored when she mentioned that. And she said, very simply, doing live streams. Up until that point, I was doing live streams once a day for like 20 minutes. A long session would be 40 minutes. I think every once in a while I went an hour. And I became addicted to showing up to Mayhem and Miracles and watching. And she was just so casual, so comfortable, so giving, just completely herself. And what's the easiest thing in the world to do? Also the hardest thing in the world to do, to be yourself. There was a quote, I think it was Krishnamurti, the hardest thing in the world is to be yourself in a world surrounded by people who are telling you to be otherwise. I talk about that often. Teachers who told us to color in the lines, to use the correct crayon, to do this, you had to participate in this, you had to learn how to play basketball. I don't know why. I was a lousy basketball player. I enjoyed running, I enjoyed weightlifting, I enjoyed doing push-ups, but actual like games, I wasn't all that good at. Why couldn't I run? Why did I have to play basketball? I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that it was almost like a big epiphany, a moment of I can go and I can be myself. I can do a live stream for as long as I want to do a live stream and just be myself and just talk. And I didn't even ask, are people going to show up? Because it didn't matter if people showed up or not. What mattered was to talk about the things that I love talking about. And I've done that every single day ever since. I've actually done a live stream every day since July 1st. So it's coming up in a year, which is why I want, but again, they weren't long, which is why I want to get those watch hours in before July, because then they'll start dropping off. Up until then, I was doing burpee videos. I was doing a few other, like, reading some of my writing, things like that. But, yeah, it just didn't matter. So, Mayhem and Miracles, Masha, thank you. Thank you for that epiphany. And since that day, since that first day, my watch hours have steadily climbed every single day, getting closer and closer and closer. Elijah's here. Elijah says, you know how many burpees I did today? I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 500 burpees. Masha says everyone else's were in chat. It is weird that you didn't see that. Actually, not that you didn't see it. I just don't think it was there. Because I saw Eric make that comment, and I looked, and I didn't see anything. Flower is back. Hello, Flower is back. 530. Wow. That's absolutely awesome, Elijah. And today is World Burpee Day. It started this afternoon. 24 hours of burpees across every time zone in the world. People started a couple hours ago, and they would just keep passing the baton. So, hey, you did your part. World Burpee Day, 530 burpees from our young friend, Elijah. A salute is the highest praise that you get in the burpee community. Salute to Elijah. It's a fitting name for you, my friend, a name of strength, a biblical name of strength. Well done, well deserved. Masha says you're welcome. Eric says, me either, Masha. The next time live, I'll try it again. But I had to guess it's at least $15. Yeah, some kind of weird disconnect. Flower says, hi, Miss Mayhem. And hey, Eric L. Flower, oh, you know what? I meant to check on Barb, and I forgot. There she is. I'm going to bring her up just, even if I don't get a chance to participate. I hope all is well on Barb's channel. It's been peaceful there lately. Hey, Barb, we were just talking about you. I just clicked on your channel. Our good friend Flower was hanging out at Barb's. I love seeing our friends hanging out with other friends. This is why I'm never concerned about anyone going live the same time I go live. Basically, who cares? Because we're friends, not competition. We got a friend that needs watch hours, definitely be there. We got a friend who is feeling more inspired than I am. Hey, I'm tempted to go over there and join you and listen to him. There's room for all of us. There's room for all of us in everything. Imagine that, if we had that consideration in our minds at all the time. There's room for your thoughts. There's room for your opinions. There's room for your beliefs. It doesn't ever, ever have to conflict with mine, even a little bit. As a matter of fact, they don't even have to be an issue. We can relax about it. But boy, did we take our thoughts and our opinions so seriously. The biggest relief of my life was when I realized that I'm not my opinion. Opinion is just thoughts that formed in the mind, and that I'm the witness to that opinion. And as the witness, I'm unaffected by what goes on in here. What a huge relief, because there's some weird stuff going on up in here. Once you get that sense of relaxation, the world changes. It becomes a much, much more beautiful place because you're not threatened by anyone else's beliefs. Anyway, sometimes I go off in that little spiel, and then I circle back and I think, what was it that sparked that little conversation there? I don't know. But anyway, our friend Barb is here. I haven't used my cheat sheet in a while. Let me bring it up. It's fallen behind because I've added more stuff to my cheater's notebook. La Akira. It should get that by now. I have managed Bangladesh. I have managed Myanmar. And I've managed, see if I can find it. Helvetica. I haven't seen him today, but I've practiced his name. So Barb, I hope you're doing well. And how's Wolf doing? Elijah said, a la mode. Yeah, you got that extra 300 reps. That's awesome. Or I'm sorry, extra 30 reps, 530. Eric Point says, tomorrow is a day in the burpee world for me. It's a big day. Big day. I feel like a proud father. Tomorrow is going to be graduation. Eric Lapointe steps into a brave new world. For better, for worse. Probably for worse. I gotta admit, burpees are tough, but the benefits are huge. It's a all-encompassing exercise. I'm thinking in about 8 days, I hit 900 days even. I think in 8 days of burpees every single day for 900 days, and I'm thinking I'm going to make a change. I'm still going to do burpees, but I might do things the Burpee Reaper style. I'll keep you all posted on that. Elijah said, still getting used to the community? Yeah, we take some getting used to. Some of us more than others. Barb says, I'm still here doing my diamond art and listening to native flutes. I have you up and running, my friend. I get the best of both, almost the best of both worlds, as I get to watch you do crafts and have a conversation with you here. I say almost the best of both worlds because, as I mentioned before, what drew me into your channel was, at first, the lovely crafts, but then just listening to you talk, and you have such a warm and inviting personality. It was like you were asking me to pull up a chair and share a cup of coffee with you. And I still feel that way. Sunshine Butter with Stitch says hello. Hello, my friend. How are you? I absolutely love the channel names that come in to visit. I particularly love the ones that I can pronounce. Barb says, I love the cheat sheet. It is completely necessary. This one's pretty old. I'll tell you how old this one is. I actually have a date. Where I'm talking about, you probably can't see it, I'm talking about happy hours. I'm supposed to meet someone at a happy hour. I haven't been to a happy hour since I quit drinking 1999. I got little snippets of dreams written in here. Books that I've read, books that I want to read. I got burpee numbers. I got little snippets of inspiration that pop into my head. But this is like one of lots of notebooks. Sunshine, Butter with Stitch says, hello, do you remember me? I do remember. You have been here before. You've been here a few times before, and I'm always happy to see you. Elijah says, my internet is so bad. What's the heh for, Flower? We got a laugh from Barbara. Let's see. Elijah says, so bad, I'm so mad. You're a burpee monster, my friend. Eric Lapointe says, thanks to you, Yogi. Don't thank me yet. Don't thank me until you put those reps in. You might be cursing me tomorrow. Flower says, I put an object down And the next second, I forgot where it was. Welcome to my world, flower. So I don't remember. Wait until you start looking for your glasses while you're wearing them. Wait until you start looking for your house key when it's in your hand. Even worse, wait until you leave a doctor's office and you have no idea where you parked. Barb says, tonight, party night for a reunion. I'm thinking of not going. Wolf is in so much pain. Sorry about that. I was thinking about Wolf today. I was hoping he was feeling better. I was hoping his cortisol shot, cortisone, cortisol, was working. Flower very kindly says, I hope Wolf gets better. I do as well. Masha's gonna eat her dinner now. Yogi, need to give my eyes a bit of a break. Understandable. You had a live long session, and I'm willing to bet that I'm not the only live stream that you visited. So, Masha, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all that you do. And she says, thank you for your support, and everyone. You're welcome, my friend. And Masha says, Eric, I look into that, okay? Barb says, I'm blushing. But that's your channel. That's how I sum it up. It's a warm and welcoming place. It's a place full of love. Eric Point says, I own some native flutes. Do you play, Eric LaPointe? I always imagine that would be such a meditative feeling to play the flute. Play any type of wind instrument like that. Flower says, oop, why? And Barb says, we both have our own flutes. I used to listen to Carlos Nakai. Flower says, I have a recorder. Do you play it often? We need to see Hello Flower playing the recorder video. Flower says, welcome to my world, Flower. They got me laughing. My cat stuck her head out and looked at me like I was crazy. It's a good day. It's a good day for me. If I can make Flower laugh. Eric Point says, I'm in trouble in my furniture then, because in future then, because I couldn't find my pencil in high school that was in my ear. I've been down that road before too. Eric Point says, not well. I played trumpet as a kid for years. Awesome. I never played anything. I regret. My mother wanted me to take music lessons, which means playing the piano. I wanted, of course, to play guitar. Because, hey, that was how you could be cool. I had rock heroes, guitar heroes. But my mom said, learn to play piano and you can switch. After you learn, you can switch. You can play almost anything. If you learn music, you can play almost anything. But I was stubborn. And she said, you'll regret it. And she was absolutely right. I regret it. I've occasionally gone out and sang karaoke with Mocha McCarty. Ah, there she is. Mocha has a beautiful singing voice. Flower says, I forgot the notes, but I will look through in YouTube. That would be awesome. Master Sergeant, retired, Mocha, says, hello, flower, ray of sunshine, flower. All is right in the world. We have Master Sergeant Mocha McCarty here. We have Hello Flower here. And they are offering their traditional greetings for each other. Flower says, it's a good day for me if I can join your lives. That was awful, awful nice of you to say. So Mocha says, hello to everyone. Eric Point says, your mom was right. You know what? She usually was. Not every mom, but I think most moms usually are. You know, I'm going to call out our friend Goldie, who said the other day one of the most wonderful things I ever heard. We were talking about working those long hours, and she's doing it so her daughter will not be saddled with, and I hope she doesn't mind me bringing this up. Goldie is a modest person, so her daughter would not be saddled with college expenses, with a student loan. An amazing thing to do. You know, some people might say, well, that's what parents do. Maybe some, maybe most, I don't know. But when I heard it from Goldie, it struck me right in the heart. It's just such a wonderful thing to do, and like a perfectly Goldie thing to do. Flower says, M did what? Sometimes I can't believe that I read certain things out loud. And generally, the things that I can't believe I read out loud are the things that Flower puts up there. So yes, I actually said M did what? Wed. Barb says, I played the piano, organ, steel flute, oboe, clarinet. My mom played the clarinet and got a musical scholarship. California University, not in California, the California University Teacher College in Western Pennsylvania. Sax, well, that's a lot. Native flute, but the cancer has halted all that. I would imagine, with especially the wind instruments, as I know you've mentioned, you have the sinus problems. Flower, what are you confused about? Flower says, hi, Miss Mocha. Flower says, I saw a YouTube short in the evening with the SpongeBob theme song. Now it's stuck in my head. I feel like the only appropriate response to that is to say sorry. Mocha says, hi to Eric LaPointe. So, Flower, I visited your channel. Where's all your content? Oh, Flower says, Miss Mocha changed her name, and I was so confused. This is, I think, probably a different account. I think. Maybe not, though. Hey, Eric LaPointe. Do you have I know you said you got to mix things up for the burpees that you got to do. Do you have like a set number? Do you have like a set time? You want to see how many you can get in a certain amount of time? Flower says, I thought you'd say you haven't watched it. She's going to put her content up. Awesome. I'm going to try a little experiment myself. So I know our friend Bumblebee said she's hoping to get outside, get down by the river, get out in nature a bit. What about, and I know that Eric Lapointe is going to be doing burpees tomorrow. What's the weekend plan for everyone? Do you guys reckon that guy? Do you guys recognize that guy at the bottom? I mentioned to Mocha, I realized the other day that I actually have another account. That's when I first started YouTube, not a channel, but just, to participate. Eric says, let's see, First Flower says, my cat is behind me sleeping and is pushing me. Normal cat behavior. Yeah, typical cat. Eric Point says, I'm going to figure it out tonight, what I'm going to do. Awesome. Wow, Barb, 94 degrees. We got up, it wasn't super warm today. We got up to about 80, I think, maybe more. In the morning, it was about as perfect as you could get. Taking my little herbal supplement. So I don't know if I get watch hours for participating on my own channel under a different name, but I thought I'd find out. Flower says, oof. One of my favorite expressions. I think at the end of however many burpees Eric Lapointe gets tomorrow, he should, at the very end, the very last rep, he should look in the camera and go, oof. Barb says, I was told any account watching your channel will count. Awesome. I should have done this earlier. So now there's two of me. That thought alone should keep everyone up at night. There's two of me participating here. You get double the Yogi for the low, low price of absolutely nothing. We get a thumbs up from Eric Lapointe. So as for me, my weekend will be much the same as every day. I'll be up, I'll be meditating, I'll be doing breath work, and I will be out walking in nature, filming whatever the world shows me. It's always an adventure. Just allowing yourself to open up to see what's going to happen. It's an infinitely beautiful world. And you're going to see something from your perspective that no one else in the entire universe is going to be able to see. At one time, I think I would have thought it would be a shame to try to capture it. Just experience it. That was several years ago, that would have been my Zen interpretation of being in nature. However, here's the epiphany on that, is the experience can also be being out in nature with a camera and capturing something. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I don't need to enter that degree of separation. Suang Su, Korean Zen master, he was an advocate of the don't know mind, the don't know philosophy. That enlightenment is simply not knowing and not clinging to the thought that we do know. However, he would always talk, mindfulness. When you're reading, just read. If you're watching TV, just watch TV. If you are eating, just eat. And one day, students walked in as he was eating breakfast with a newspaper in front of him, watching TV. And they sort of called him out on the contradiction. And he said, there is no contradiction. Right now, the only thing that I'm doing is watching TV, reading a newspaper, eating breakfast, mindfully at once. So it's on how we approach things. So that realization instantly, and I mentioned this to Mocha, who she's like perfectly at home with a camera in her hand, filming something. And for the longest time, for me, um, I didn't have that. I didn't feel at home. It felt like an object, and I didn't want an object between me and nature. Um, but watching Mocha and seeing the beautiful photographs that she did, and using many of them in my for my blog, um, I realized with the right mindset, or better yet, get rid of the mindset with the right action, with the right beingness. Um, it's not an object; it's an extension of the moment. So that changed everything for me. I owe that epiphany to Mocha McCarty. Barb says, I love the short of the birds. It brought me back to a calm and peaceful place. Thank you. I'm glad that you love them. I'm glad that you got the intent. That's the essence of every single thing I do on the YouTube channel. From burpees, um, I don't think anyone's ever going to watch a burpee video and say, wow, that was the most intense thing I've ever seen. Someone might watch it and say, well, that's the most laid-back burpee session I've ever seen. Or that guy seemed to be fairly meditative in his burpee session. Something along those lines. But I want that, I want people to walk away with a little bit of a sense of peace from the live streams to the 5 a.m. readings to the burpees, and especially those nature shorts. Barb says, remember what you love to do the best. Doing it is relaxing. It is a type of energy we use for us only. Perfectly said. Wonderfully said, Barb. Thank you for sharing that. I definitely agree. Elijah says, I'm back. It was internet. Well, welcome back. Our friend Vincent is here. Vincent, I looked for if you posted your live because I was asleep. You said it was at 9, and I couldn't find it. How you doing? I was really curious what the your live stream was going to be about. Elijah, we were talking about burpees a bit. Hey, you should do, Elijah, you should do a video of your burpees sometime. Horror of Spice says, I put out a short saying Becky had back issues. So tonight we were live. Same time? Elijah says, yeah, sounds cool. I should. Hey, sorry about Becky's back issue. I hope she's feeling better today. I'll probably be asleep. Yep, so it'll be, I think he said 9:30. But guys, check out Horror of Spice if you're, depending what time zone you're in. And hopefully it'll be available tomorrow, and I'll be able to sit in and check it out. I always enjoy spending time with Horror of Spice and Mrs. Horror of Spice as they introduce themselves as. And of course, I won't say it here because we have a young audience. The three B's that our friend Horror of Spice, his philosophy in life. A well-placed philosophy, I might add, my friend. So let's see. I'm going to check in on the 24 hours of burpees. Right now, our friend Simone Tregazer, who is, I don't remember where he's in. He's in Germany, I believe, is hosting it. Simone is a good friend. He actually gave, if you visit his channel, hold on a second, guys, you'll find a video under the Books and Burpee, where he was doing book reviews. And he did a book review of my very first book that I wrote, and had some really nice words to say. Eric Lapointe, I think you would enjoy Simone's stuff as well. Simone. I almost always revert back to saying Simon. Or Spice says, burpees galore recently. Lots of burpees. Bumblebee says, hi. Dubclips is here. Dubclips says, love the channel. And man, I always appreciate hearing that, my friend. Dubclips pops in and just shows support. Much, much appreciated. So, Horror of Spice, did we get a hint of what might be coming up this evening? What's going to be the special event? If you can't say that, if you can't say what it is, that's fine. I can wait until tomorrow. I need to share some more of the Burpee Elites with you, Eric Lapointe. There's so many good people there. So I know you said I sent you Max Edwards, the busy dad. For someone who is looking for a minimalistic training plan, you really can't go wrong with the Busy Dad program. It's 4 days a week. You get to arrange it. 80 minutes each week. 4 20-minute sessions. 2 sessions of 6-count burpees. 2 sessions of Navy SEALs. And the goal, he has standards. He based it on like the belt division in martial arts. That you hit this number and you can even purchase shirts. If you get this number, you have this color shirt, and you work your way up through the rep scheme. I forget what level I got. I didn't follow the protocol as I did the Busy Dad program every single day. Every single day was a 20-minute session or longer to see how many reps I could get, and I did that for almost 2 years. A little exhausting towards the end. So let's see. Hey, our friend UK Medic is here. Medic, how are you? Good to see you. It was nice seeing you for a bit over at Mayhem and Miracles earlier today. Medic says, pissed off with YouTube. Yeah, I know it's been a battle. And I heard you mention, well, I've read you mention with Masha how exhausting you find um, doing the live streams. As always, with everything, it seems to me, with everything that or anything that UK Medic does, he does full force, um, not half-assed in anything. If you're gonna do it, you do it correct. You do it right. Um, so I know uh, how much you put into even your live streams. Medic says 18 hours worth of live streams and gained 2 hours watch time. I just can't believe that YouTube lets you get that close. I was wondering, I know you said that you're really on the verge of just letting it all go. What if you took 2 weeks and you said, I'm going to do a 2-hour live stream every single day for 2 weeks, sometimes more if you have the time. Like it was, so you offset any possibility of losing too many hours. I don't know if that's the answer. It's just a thought that popped in my head. Eric Point says, "What's up, medic?" Barb says, "I just all a bit over $200 and all that marble epoxy and diamond art." So you're saying that I'm not sure I understand that, Barb. Bumblebee says, "Just saw the military helicopter demo short." Medic, awesome. You just sold. That's awesome. Congratulations with that, Barb. Well deserved. You put your heart and soul into the work that you do. Barb says hi to Bumblebee and hugs. Medic says, "I'm working harder for the YouTube bandits than I did 33 years as a paramedic." I can understand that 100%. As I'm putting, big investments, I'm going live very briefly in the morning. But so 3 times a day, plus the shorts, plus the burpees. And I don't edit and stuff like that the way that medic does. So man, if I'm tired doing what I'm doing, I can imagine on your end, only imagine on your end, the difficulty of that. Medic says, my audience won't let me do just a 2-hour live. Now, the only reason I said 2 hours, because I thought if you were doing it every day, you'd want to have like a cap. So, hey, if you could do 4-hour sessions every day, 7 days a week for 2 weeks, and that way it's any cap, any drop is going to be sort of evened out. And then with everyone pulling together to watch the playlist, as I've been doing, as I know many others have been doing, like one big superhuman effort to push over the finish line. Barb says, I was at 238 yesterday, now about 120 on YouTube. They cheat. I don't understand how that works. I hate to think that any I was about to say something totally ridiculous. In my head, I could hear UK Medic already laughing. I was about to say, I just can't imagine any major corporation cheating someone. And I realized how absolutely ridiculous that sounded. Not to mention naive. Barb says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Bumblebee has a perfect suggestion. You can set boundaries. You can say right at the beginning, today, for the sake of my sanity, for the sake of my well-being, I'm going to do a 2-hour session. Maybe the next day you're feeling good and you say, let's not set a limit. Let's see where it goes. But I think there's got to be a way to block off those hour drops. Okay. I said I think. I don't know. I hope there's a way. Bumblebee says, Medic, how about you do 3 2 hours live back to back? That's a thought as well. Medic says, my boundary would be to stick the fingers up at YouTube and walk away. Eric Point says, tough stuff, Medic. I agree. Bumblebee wants to know if Nitro has any ideas. No comment. They take 40%. Barb says, I didn't go down in subs, went up in views and watch hours and watch. Don't know if they took their 40% off, but wow, it is hard. Yeah, it is. So Barb, you're fully monetized, right? Eric Point says, I said this before, but the best way is to watch a video all the way there, make comment, then sub. That works the best to keep the subs. I remember you mentioning that. Eric Point says, I type fast, sorry. 100 burpees will fix that fast typing right away. It'll slow things down. David Ross says, what percent do you think God is real? It's an interesting question. I don't think I can think in terms of percent. For me, my views alone. Let me cut out the cruising is fun anytime says replay. Thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. Guys, make sure you check out Cruising is Fun Anytime. You got to check them out live. That's where the fun is. That's where the fun happens. Let's see. Let me see if I can do this, guys. I'm going to attempt. I'm not good at this. I'm going to attempt to drop a link. But man, if anyone deserves a link drop, it is our friend Cruising is Fun Anytime. So let me get back here to David Ross. For me, that's like asking, based upon my own experience, that's like asking, what is the percentage of reality being real? Reality just is. God is reality. I don't have, let's say I don't rely on a concept of God. I rely on my experience of God without interpretation. Once I start to interpretate that, then I've lost the essence of God. That's when the map becomes the territory, or the menu becomes the meal. I'm no longer dealing with reality. I'm dealing with my thoughts of reality. When I let those thoughts go, I'm back, immersed right in reality, and that's the presence of God. So my long-winded answer to that is 100%, because there's only God. What we really could say is God is, and then leave it blank, because anything we say afterwards would just be our own description and not the reality, not the Godness. I mentioned this before. It's the saying, you can never get wet with water. You can never get wet with the word water. But you put your hand in it and you know water. I could keep saying water over and over again, but no one will ever know the wetness until they actually take a drink of water, or they put their hand in the water, or they go for a swim. That's reality, and that's God for me. But I don't expect that to have to be so for everyone. Flower says hi to David. So I don't know if that link's going to work. I hear different things, that if you put something up through a desktop, not everyone can check it out unless you're on a desktop. So for those who are on a desktop, if people still use desktops besides me anymore, please check out. Cruising is fun anytime. Barb says he is or he isn't. For me, he is 100%. Awesome answer, Barb. Awesome answer. Medic says, if you work out the live stream hours, those in chat, should be around 250 watch hours. I need 13 to get to 4K. And guess what? It went up by 2. I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand because it sounds like there is some mathing in there. And mathing, here's the reason. I'm barefoot most of the time, because I might need to count to 20. If someone asks me to go beyond that, then I got to borrow someone else's fingers and someone else's toes. So, yeah, the mathing was too complicated. Eric Lapointe says, David, I think at least 99%. Interesting. I'm tempted to ask you, what would the 1% be, Eric Lapointe? It's funny, I've mentioned before that it's mainly a politically free channel, because I just, no sense arguing back and forth. Everyone has different politics. Everyone is entitled to their different politics. I don't want to convince anyone that my politics are right. I don't want to convince anyone that theirs is wrong. How could that be? They're yours. And yet we talk about God and we talk about religion quite often. And almost most of the time, it's an incredibly peaceful discussion where we all share our thoughts and our ideas. No one tries to force anything on anyone, with few exceptions. I think we know the exceptions. But even that is done kindly. Even the exceptions are done with kindness and good intent, if not insistently. Flower says, should I go live? You should absolutely go live. 100% go live. Let me know the time that you will go live, so that I don't go live while you are, so I can be there and support you. And I can do it at a time when I am, well, I don't want to make, it's your live session. You go live when you want to go live. I will do my best to be there for you. Goldie says, David Ross, 100%. Barb says, Goldie says, I agree. I agree as well. Cruising is fun anytime, says, thank you. You are welcome, my friend. Barb says, I'm finishing my gnome. I love gnomes. So we'll rest for tonight. Wolf says, no matter how much he hurts, he wants me to the reunion tonight. I was going to ask you if you made any choice, if you made any decisions, and if you were going to go or not. If you go, is Wolf going to stay home? Medic says we are components of God, like a molecular structure. Each one of us is part of God. Medic, I absolutely love that answer. As a matter of fact, I might borrow it, giving Medic full 100% credit, giving myself credit for remembering it. Absolutely perfect answer. Exactly aligned with how I think. So if we are components of God, like a molecular structure, how can there be an absence of God? How can there be a percentage of God? Which is why, again, my answer was 100%. You can't divide reality. You can't divide a magnet. You can't separate the North Pole from the South Pole on a magnet. No matter how much you divide it, you get a north, you get a south. You get the magnetic pull of both. David Ross, that was a great question, my friend. I appreciate you coming in and asking that. Bumblebee says, David, I believe we have different gods. I believe in a higher power, but I don't know who it is. But it could be Santa or the man on the moon. When I was Christian, I believed at that time in a different God. It's an interesting and great answer, Bumblebee. My thoughts would be that we believe in different concepts of the same God, just as we all have different interpretations of reality, but it's always one reality. The reality right here that I'm pounding is of a desk, but if I were to take a powerful atomic microscope, I would see that it's comprised of cells, of molecules, of atoms, of particles, and 99.99999 nothingness. So I have the concept of a desk, and that concept serves me well, but it's not the ultimate reality. It's just an aspect of reality. So every concept of God we have is an aspect of God, but not the molecular structure that our friend UK Medic was talking about. These are the conversations that I absolutely love to have. Cruising is fun says God is. God is. Thank you for that, my friend. Goldie says, hi there, Medic. Love the show. Eric Lapointe, still cooking and listening in. Much appreciated. And we get a drop of water. Or is that a single teardrop falling down Eric Lapointe's eyes? Bumblebee says cruising is fun. Says hi to cruising is fun. And they certainly do make cruising is fun sound like fun. Flower says, Yogi, I can go live now. Happy. Hey, are you live right now? Because if you are, I will I'll bring you up and I'll have you live as I'm live. Hey, and Flower, well deserved. I remember when you only had 1 or 2 subscribers and you said you wanted 50 so you could go live. And you got it. That's awesome. A big thanks to our friend Runnerboy. He helped you get over the line. Barb says, hurrah, Flower, congrats. Goes to show. Flower, it goes to show you can achieve the things that you want. Bumblebee says, Barb, what is tonight? It's a big reunion for Barb. I'll let her put it out there. Flower says, thank you, Miss Barb. Hey, has everyone subscribed to our friend Flower? I hope so. Now that I'm getting the hang of this. We'll see if that works. 1% unknown. Interesting. Some might say it's the unknown that is God. That's what's without concept. This is why the term ineffable is used. God the ineffable. That's what it's referred to in the cloud of unknowing. The cloud of unknowing, which is I believe, a 12th century Christian mystic, anonymous. Barb says, Flower, it is my 50th graduation reunion. It's a big event. I'm glad. Are you definitely going to go? Flower says, ooh, hooray. Again, only for Flower do I read a comment where I have to go, ooh, and hooray. Everyone else on the entire internet, I'm going to skip it. Flower says, my channel, that's your channel. I hope people can click on it. I hope they can subscribe. Let's see. Flower is at 57 subscribers. Bumblebee says, Flower, yes, where you go live. Bumblebee says, enjoy. Medic says, by the way, Eric LaPointe, thanks for the coffee. I treated myself to coffee off the back of your super chat. Awesome. Bumblebee says, Flower, yes, where you go live. And Barb drops Bumblebee's channel. Thank you, Barb. Medic, or Eric Point says, Medic, that's what it's all about. It certainly is. Flower says, yeah, I can type. We might be able to type it, but I don't know if I can. I guess I could. Bumblebee says, Barb, post Flower's link, please. And she did. It's dropped up above. And Medic did as well. Thank you for that, Medic. Well, Barb says he's coming with me. I love him so much for this. That's what it's all about, right there. That's the kind of love you want to have in your life. I'm glad you're going. I'm really glad you're going. You only get one 50th anniversary. And I'm glad that you will be there with Wolf. Flower says, thanks, Sir Medic. I agree. Thank you for dropping that link, Medic. Eric Point says, I have bought coffee for everyone. Not just that. You're buying me Ezekiel bread. You know, I eat fairly cheaply, mostly produce, and produce-related stuff. So those things go a long, long way for me. Honestly, I try to tell people how much I appreciate that, and I hope they, I hope the sincerity really comes across. But it's huge for me. Very much appreciated. Not just what I can get, but someone enjoys being here enough that they want to show their appreciation. For me, that is huge. I don't know, guys. Today, for whatever reason, something got triggered, and I've been on it's not an emotional roller coaster, as I don't go up with the ups. I don't go down with the downs. I stay pretty even keeled with both of them. But I definitely been on the emotional bandwidth, I think. Medic says, just understand that divinity in itself is divine. I agree, 100%. Medic is speaking like a true mystic, someone who's had that realization, which is important. You can talk about God, and you can experience God. Sometimes you talk about God without the experience. Sometimes you have the experience and you simply can't speak about it. And then there's other times when you get to do both. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing when you can find the words. Most of the time, I can't. I start talking about it, and I run out of thoughts. I've run out of ideas, which is the perfect place to be, because then you're there. Then you're immersed in the wetness of God, which is why in the traditional forms of self-inquiry, when you ask, "Who am I?" you can't settle on an answer, because anything that you get, "Who am I?" is just a description. There's a Vedic meditation called the Neti Neti. Neti is Sanskrit, and it means not this. So if you say, "Who am I?" and you use that Neti Neti approach, you dismiss everything. That's not who I am. I'm obviously not my body, because if I lose a finger, am I me, the essence of me? Is it less? If I lose an arm, does that mean I exist a little less than I did before? I'm obviously not my thoughts, because sometimes, especially in deep meditation, I experience moments of thoughtlessness. Does that mean I cease to exist? I'm obviously not my personality. My personality's changed through the years. So who am I? And I keep asking. I've asked myself that question for 30 plus years. And I get to the point where I'm completely mystified. And I say, I don't know. And then I know. Flower says 56 subs, 57. Yep, when I last checked, it was 57. Jeremy and Cheryl's Adventure says, hey everyone. Jeremy, how are you, my friend? It's great to have the whole family here. Barb, thank you very much for that, my friend. Flower says, thank you, Medic. And Bumblebee subbed. So let's see, where does that bring us up to? Checking in again. Yep, 57 subscribers for Flower. Flower says, I couldn't have done it without you guys, but it is well deserved. You deserve all the support you can get. As mentioned before, you showed up here on my channel unexpectedly, and right off the bat, just became a great presence. Flower says, let me go live real quick. It won't be long. Stay tuned, guys. Two are watching. It should be 3 people. Hold on. And that's our friend Flower performing a sketch. Absolutely awesome. I would love to see, and let's see, we have Goldie there. And we have Runner Boy there. Runner Boy, who was a huge help in getting her to that 50 point. And we have Brian Lane there. So we leave a little message for her. Absolutely awesome. Medic says, if godly thoughts are in your head and godly acts in your heart, it matters not your perception of who God is. Absolutely true. It crosses over the border of perceptions into action, into life itself, into who and what we are. Eric says, well, good stuff, Barb. Medic catches that little typo. You goof, Eric LP. Barb says, you're welcome, my brother. Medic says, in order to achieve inner harmony, you have to focus on what you have, not what you don't have. Interesting. I'd have to think about that. I can't get behind that. I have to start dismissing the things that I think that I have, I don't actually have. I think I have this house, but what happens if I lose it? So I like that answer, Medic, because you, again, I revert back to that netty, not this. I don't have this house. Not in essence. I don't have, what do I have? If I keep dismissing that stuff, I find out that in actuality, for me, I have nothing. And in that nothing, I find freedom. In that nothing, you can find the absolute. Everything springs from nothing. Everything springs. Remember, God created the universe from nothingness itself. Breathed life into the absolute. I love those answers like Medic gave, because you got to start. You can't just think about it. You got to digest it. You got to let it take you to. Those are the type of words that cause you to dive deep within. And it gets to the point where you think and you think and you think, and then the mind stops, and then bam. Eric Point says, good night, everyone. I have to go prepare for tomorrow. Big day for tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to say good night myself in about 5 minutes or so. Barb says, good night, Eric. Blessings and hugs. Medic says, take care, Eric LP, buddy. Eric's a good man. He's got a big burpee session tomorrow. Be the first one filmed. He's been practicing for it. It's jumping in both feet. Barb says, well, I am out, for I must go and get ready. God bless each of you, and be safe. Hey, be safe as well. Tell Wolf that I'm thinking about him. What a huge gesture on his part. You guys have fun. Brian says, don't know what happened earlier on your previous chat, but it wouldn't load right at end, and it just was with your live. The people said they were having problems with internet too. Huh, interesting. I saw you over there. I popped in and checked her out. We had other friends there as well. Medic was there. Medic says the doc is in the house. Brian Lane, Goldie, Runner Boy. Awesome. Friends showing up for other friends. Brian says, wish everyone a great weekend. Flower says hello. Flower, that was awesome. Hey, are you going to leave that up so people can do a replay? I hope. Brian Lane says, gratitude. Gratitude is everything. Elijah has basketball tomorrow. Wow. Basketball tomorrow after doing 530 burpees. That's big, Elijah. Have fun playing basketball. I know you're going to work hard. Brian says I do gratitude journals time to time. It's a good vibes. It is good vibes. And you get to, as UK Medic says, you concentrate on the things that you do have, the things that you have to be grateful for. And when you start counting, you realize that the number truly is infinite. It's why, as I mentioned before, my first practice of the day is to open my eyes and say thank you. One, I exist. Through no happening of my own, I didn't force myself to exist. I didn't use willpower. I didn't insist upon it. I just somehow, by the grace of God, by the grace of reality, by the grace of love, for our friend Bumblebee's sake, for the sake of Santa Claus, who knows? But I do. And that I somehow made it through the night, again, by the grace of love. And everything that I need spontaneously appears. Air to breathe, functioning lungs. I didn't make any of that happen. It was all gifted. How can I not be grateful? How can I not say thank you? This is why Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say is thank you, that would be enough. Wise words, Brian. Cody says, hello, Flower. Your drawing was very promising start. I was waiting to see where it goes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope, man, I would love to see, I don't want to, it's not for me to make, I was going to say it's not for me to make suggestions. It's okay to make a suggestion. I would love to see Flower devote at least some of her channel to her artwork. And I've said the same to Night Watcher. Flower says we're posting it later on. Awesome. Gordy says, okay, lovely. Flower says it's going to be playing Roblox. I don't know. I could keep saying it over and over again, and I still won't know. So maybe she'll go live later. Awesome. Brian is working tomorrow. I didn't sign up for the burpee thing tomorrow. I didn't either. Brian says, did you see my turtle video, Eric? I haven't. I saw the one that you did on Facebook, which was absolutely awesome. I've always known animals are affectionate. It's absolutely awesome to see the affection between Brian and his turtles. I'm not talking about just the affection that Brian shows his turtles, but the affection that the turtles show him. It's absolutely amazing to watch. I will check it out, Brian. Goldie's going to sleep soon. Flower, I'm having a big day tomorrow. And has been preparing for it. Yep, I'm going to say goodnight too, guys. Goldie, I'll be thinking about you tomorrow. Barb, I'll be thinking about you and Wolf tonight. Eric Lapointe, I'm going to be sending you strength and energy, my friend. Flower says, okay, miss. Once again, I'm reading things I should never read aloud. Gordy says, I will as soon. Brian Lay says, Night Watcher draws good. Yeah, he certainly does. Gordy says, as soon as I finish frying the breaded chicken. Brian says, have a great weekend, people. Medic says to Eric and chat, and stay safe. You as well, my friend. Hey, Medic, let me know next time we chat what you think about just doing that daily 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until you get there. Just a thought, just putting it out there. Brian Lane says it's 5:55 here now. It's almost 7 for me. That's just about my bedtime. I have just enough time to do my breath work, to read from a book. It'll probably be more from the Tao Te Ching, and then get some sleep. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. I will see everyone tomorrow. I'll be doing my live streams. I'll be doing my burpees. Maybe some other stuff that I'm thinking of. Suggestions from our friend Barb. Flower. Awesome. It was great to see you live. And it's great to have you here on the channel, participating and chatting. I haven't heard of that book. I'm going to look for it, Brian. It sounds good. I'll check it out on Amazon. So, guys, thank you. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care. It's Einstein. Oh, wow. Einstein, for all the talk of his atheism, didn't come out 100% correct, was a great mystic, actually. He was someone who would put God down as the ineffable. So, I'll check it out. Thanks. Guys, take care.